who are in Krishna consciousness. Other transcendentalists may achieve impersonal Brahman realization, for this is easier than understanding Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Person, but at the same time, he is beyond the knowledge of Brahman and Paramatma. The yogis and jnanis are confused in their attempts to understand Krishna, although the greatest of the impersonalists, Sripada Sankaracharya, had admitted in his Gita commentary that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But his followers do not accept Krishna as such, for it is very difficult to know Krishna even though one has transcendental realization of impersonal Brahman. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, the primeval Lord Govinda. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govindaha Sarvakarana Karanam. It is very difficult for the non-devotees to know him. Although non-devotees declare that the path of bhakti or devotional service is very easy, they cannot practice it. If the path of bhakti is so easy, as the non-devotees class of men proclaim, then why do they take up the difficult path? Actually, the path of bhakti is not easy. The so-called path of bhakti practiced by unauthorized persons without knowledge of bhakti may be easy. But when it is practiced factually according to the rules and regulations, the speculative scholars and philosophers fall away from the path. Srila Rupa Goswami writes in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidim Vina Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpatayaiva Kalpate. Devotional service of the Lord that ignores the authentic Vedic literature or authentic Vedic literatures like the Upanishads, Puranas, Narada Pancharatra, etc. is simply an unnecessary disturbance in society. It is not possible for Brahman realized impersonalist or the Paramatma realized yogi to understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the son of Mother Yashoda or the charioteer of Arjuna. Even the great demigods are sometimes confused about Krishna. Muhyanti yat surayaha mam tu vedana kaschana. No one knows me as I am, the Lord says, and if one does know him, then Sa Mahatma Sudurlabhaha. Such a great soul is very rare. Therefore, unless one practices devotional service to the Lord, he cannot know Krishna as he is, Tattvataha, even though one is a great scholar or philosopher. Only the pure devotees can know something of the inconceivable transcendental qualities in Krishna, in the cause of all causes. In the cause of all causes, in his omnipotence and opulence, and in his wealth, fame, strength, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation, because Krishna is benevolently inclined to his devotees. He is the last word in Brahman realization, and the devotees alone can realize him as he is. Therefore, it is said, Ata Shri Krishna Namadi Nambaved Grahyam Indriyai Sevon Mukehi Jivado Swayam Eva Spratyadaha. No one can understand Krishna as he is by the blunt material senses, but he reveals himself to the devotees, being pleased with them for their transcendental loving service unto him. Padma Purana. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnana Timirantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Nowadays it becomes a fashion in this material world, like they want to invent new way of life. But what's the reason for the people to create a certain way of life and adapt to that way of life? The primary reason is they want to enjoy this material world. But the way of enjoyment is different to people. According to the acquire material qualities. Somebody who is in the Sattva Guna, they may try to enjoy the material world in one way of life, one way. And those who are in Rajoguna, they may want to enjoy this material world in another way. And Tamoguna people, they want to enjoy the material world in another way, yet another way. The people of Sattva-guna, they want to live for like longevity. Their goals, their ambitions, it all for long-term living. So they may start practicing some kind of, take some kind of yoga, and then they start to adopt that in their life. People of Rajoguna, they are like, their selfish motives, and they want to propagate their own theories, and so in this way they are like self-centered. So their goal of life is simply they want to enjoy this material world. And people of Tamoguna, they are all like they're driven by laziness, ignorance, and their mainly of animal propensities, living for demanding only for the meeting the demands of their body, eating, sleeping, mating, sense gratification, and they are not knowing about the higher values of the human life. So they are in the lower categories of, they are leading the lower categories of life. And here Krishna is telling, Manushyanam sahasresu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvataha. Among the many thousands of men, one may endeavor for perfection. The people of Rajoguna, Tamoguna, they don't want to have any like long-term goals like endeavoring for perfection. No. They want to enjoy their body and senses. And people of Sattva-guna, they may try to follow adopt some yoga system and try to endeavor for perfection. But even such people who are trying to endeavor for perfection, hardly few or hardly one knows Krishna in truth. So when the goal of different like a yoga system, which is like what people are practicing, broadly classified into three categories: karma yoga or jnana yoga, and the ashtanga yoga and the bhakti yoga process. So in the karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga process, there are definite goals are there. In each yoga system, there is definite goals. Like karma yoga people, they want their desires to get fulfilled. So they may adopt karma yoga, but instead of acting and living an irreligious way of life, they will follow a righteous way of life as prescribed in the Vedic literature. But the desire to enjoy the material world is not vanquished from his heart. So he may follow a system of life to fulfill his own desires. And the people of Jnana Yoga, following the Jnana Yoga, they may come to the point of understanding that I am different from this material world, different from this material body. Our existence is not in this material world at all. Our existence is eternal and it is Brahman. And but that is also not a sufficient, the ultimate realization. The ultimate realization of the living entity is to come to the point of understanding that I am servant of the Supreme Lord. So, even in the Ashtanga Yoga process, the people may follow certain austerities, and in order to understand, they will come to the understanding that the Supreme Lord is seated in our heart as the Super Soul, Paramatma, and I am trying to see His form. In all the three yoga systems, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, there is no chance for establishing the personal relationship with the Supreme Lord. Because in the Kathopanishad it is mentioned that the Eko Bhaganam Yo Vidadati Kaman, the one person who is maintaining all other living entities. So that one person is the Supreme Lord Krishna. So natural, it is natural for living entities to seek relationship with others. And because in that relationship, our intrinsic potency, the soul's intrinsic potency is being in the platform of Satchitananda. So that Satchitananda platform can be fulfilled by establishing a relationship with the Supreme Lord. And it is the nature of the living entity to be in the Anandamayo Abhyasa, to be always in the happy. And that happiness can be derived by establishing our relationship with the Supreme Lord. So, all the seekers of the absolute truth should come to the point of understanding that I must establish my relationship with the Supreme Lord. And this relationship, it is not like new kind of relationship which we try to establish, we are establishing in this material world. The relationship with the Supreme Lord is already there with us. There is a relationship, definite relationship in the spiritual world, but we try to revive our relationship. So, by following the Bhakti Yoga process as prescribed in the Vedic literature, and we can revive our relationship with the Supreme Lord. And this relationship is also, it is not and it is not that we are freshly we are establishing. It is already the sadhus, they have lived in that way. And it is further, it is practically the way of life is explained by the spiritual master. So when we follow the orders of the spiritual master, which in turn who is following his previous acharyas, and that the path is mentioned in the Vedic literature, one can establish his real, one can revive his relationship with the Supreme Lord. And in this way, our material existence will come to an end, and we'll live our original way of life. So with this, we can end our Bhagavad Gita class. Srimad-Bhagavad-Gita ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.